Can you profit from selling put options? Watch this video for some strategies using put options for income and speculation. Hello, welcome back to Mind Money Masters. This is Cameron. I'm going to be your host again today. We're going to talk about short put strategies. So before we get started, thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you found anything interesting or beneficial on this video. Also, again, I'm not an investment advisor, so please, any information on this video, understand that it's purely for informational purposes and my personal opinion. No way am I recommending an investment strategy. You know how I love starting off videos with a quote of the day? Well, today, the great Warren Buffett, who needs no, obviously, introduction or explanation. He's a longtime investor and founder of Berkshire Hathaway. I will tell you how to become rich. Close the doors. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. I actually use this quote a lot within my Facebook group. The description of this video will actually show you where my Facebook group is if you'd like to join. But within my Facebook group, I love this quote just specifically because it helps them understand market movement and what to do when things are crazy. And to be honest with you, things have been a little crazy over the past couple of months, really. I really think that we need to go back to this quote. Always, whenever we see kind of the talking heads or the market makers that are out there that basically say, be fearful, be afraid, and sell, and buy, and all this other craziness, it's just, honestly, what do we need to go to understand? Granted, we can't time the market, and I understand that, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to say here, because no one can time the market. However, understand that the general population will not always know where the market goes. So we follow three things: price, action, and volume. So that's one of the things that we really, and I can talk about that actually on another video as well. But understand that in order to really truly understand the best way to invest is to don't follow necessarily the mainstream crowd, follow the volume. So I firmly believe that Mr. Buffett is talking about major corrections here. So 20 to 30% downturn. We've had multiples of those in the past 20 years. With this 10 to 30% downturn, a correction is defined as a 10% downturn. But in this scenario, I think, below 10% is probably more what he's talking about. So today, hopefully we can learn a little bit more about short puts. Let's get started. So the three main strategies that I'm going to cover today are going to be the covered put, the naked put, and the cash secured put. The covered put is the most complex strategy, so we're going to cover that. We're going to basically talk more about that on this call today. You've heard of the covered call if you've listened to any other video, specifically the selling calls video that I sent. It's been probably a couple weeks now, but definitely check that out if you have any questions. The covered put strategy is a little bit harder to wrap your head around, simply because you are short both sides. Those two sales. So you bring in money for both sides. Unlike the covered call where you're long the stock and short the call, here you're short the stock and you're short the put. So I like to break down each strategy individually and specific pieces of each leg of the trade in order to understand. So it's really the reverse of the covered call. A covered call is expecting the stock to stay flat or rise slightly. Here, you're limiting your upside. Likewise, with the covered put, your strategy is bearish with the short stock, but bullish with the short put. So the combined concept is an expectation that the stock will fall, but only to a certain point so that you can collect the premium and not be forced to buy the stock back to close out your short. Also, you definitely don't want the stock to continue to rise due to your short position, even though you are short the put. So you get the premium from selling the put, you get the income or the sale of shorting the stock. Typically, this strategy is shorting a stock at some price, let's say $100 for ease, but you're selling a put with a strike price of 90, right? So an out of the money put. You want the stock to stay between 100 and 90 so that you can benefit from both sides. But You keep the premium from the short put and benefit also from shorting your stock because it doesn't go up in an unnecessary manner. So, definitely if you have more questions on this, feel free to do additional research. I always encourage education, but this particular strategy is a little bit harder to wrap your head around. And it is more so a bearish strategy, and I am typically more of a bullish investor. So short puts, I use a lot of, but the covered put is not something that I use very frequently. Now, so that being said, short puts, naked puts, and cash secured puts are basically the same. However, the difference is how the brokerage firm will allow you to trade this particular position. Cash secured puts can be traded in a retirement account. They can be traded at pretty much level 0. The concept here is that you are secured based upon a certain amount of cash in your account that will cover the downside turn. So if you sell a stock that's at $50, or if you sell a put where the underlying stock is at $50, so whatever the cost is there, you want to make sure you cover that in the cash available in your account if it were to go down to 0. So obviously you got 100 shares with every one option. So bare minimum, you got 100 times 50. So you got to have at least $5,000 in cash to cover the downside movement here. Now, that being said, the naked put does the exact same thing. You just don't have the cash secured requirement. You just got basically margin requirements associated with that. And these have to be sold in a margin account. So these are both very bullish strategies and will provide some income because obviously you're getting the premium when you sell it. The other piece that isn't really on this slide that I want to share from a concept of selling a put, you get to bring in the premium. And if it's a long-term strategy for you to actually own this stock, you get, if it goes down a little bit, you also get the purchase of this stock at a discount. So that's one of the interesting pieces about it because your ultimately focus is that it goes up, but if it goes down, you get a little bit of, you can purchase this stock at a discount. So that's kind of another side benefit that you don't really think about within cash secured puts. So one of the things I always talk about in investing, everything has risk. Investing has risk. Really, walking down the street has risk. So, make sure you discuss those strategies for investing with your professional advisor before making any decisions. But options trading can be a great way to take advantage of any trending market, up or down. Long puts you saw in the previous video. Definitely check both of those out because we're gonna combine the two together into something called a spread here in the next upcoming videos. And we'll also talk about some strangles and some straddles. But the one thing that I want to tell you is that spreads are the preferred method of how I trade. So definitely something to think about in the next upcoming videos. Always, always, always invest in your education before you jump into any decision, before any topic. It's something that I always probably talk about on every single video, how it's important to have multiple sources of income. So these multiple sources of income can, you want to have 5 to 7 sources of income. Well, how do you get those? You have to educate yourself. You have to invest in your education. I've probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in my education outside of my college degree. So that additional expense was how to build a business, how to do better in trading, how to understand different trading strategies. These are all things that I learned outside after graduation from college. So if you do have any interest in learning how to build, multiple businesses or even learning more about investing, definitely have some opportunities that I would be happy to share with you. Look in the description of this video and check on those links. Also follow me on social media. Please like, share, subscribe this video if anything that you enjoyed from it. Cheers to your success, happy investing, and of course, happy trading.